Hey, Workplace Warriors, welcome to another installment of the Job Search Readiness series. I am on a mission to help you live your very best career life. And so, if you are on that same mission, which I'm sure you are since you stopped by, welcome. If you're a first time visitor, welcome back. If you're someone who has been here before, and I would encourage you to pay very close attention to today's Job Search Readiness installment because it is about the meal interview. And a lot of people don't think about this type of interview, unfortunately. However, the meal interview is widely used by professions that have to interact with clients on a regular basis, and it can be a successful interview, one that can catapult you into your next job opportunity, or if not handled correctly, or the your preparation is not thorough enough, then it can keep you from advancing to the next level. So let's look at some facts about the meal interview. The meal interview, of course, is very unique, and many of us are not very familiar with it. However, it is actually an employer's strategic approach to evaluating a candidate's suitability for the role that he or she is being considered for. And some unique facts about the meal interview is that your etiquette is under scrutiny, and you're not only being assessed on your answers, but also on your table manners. So make sure that if you're invited to a meal interview, that you study, if you're not already familiar, study how and when to use dinner utensils. Also, you're going to be assessed during that meal interview on your social interactions, because remember, you're going to be sitting at a dinner table, possibly with your future manager or leader, and potentially also a client or clients. And so it can be, as I can imagine, a very unnerving situation. And you're going to be assessed on your ability to maintain professionalism in an informal setting. And, you know, I say informal, but if you're dressed in a suit and tie and you're sitting at a, five-star restaurant, I beg to differ. That's not an informal setting. It might not be a true traditional work setting, but for certain professions, that is their work setting and it is formal. Um, Also, the meal interview is going to test your multitasking skills, and because it's not in a traditional office, so you, as the candidate, need to know how to balance eating, talking, with carrying on a conversation with others, and engaging with them in a productive manner. And make sure that you keep in mind that this is a test of your client facing skills under high pressure. Then also think about your food choices. Remember, you're dealing with clients and your potential higher up leader. And so choose something that is not too messy. And we always use the example of spaghetti. That's a no-no. Make sure, and then don't choose something that's too cheap or too expensive. Stay, mid-range. Kind of scan the menu, and if you can, look at the menu ahead of time, because when your meal interview is scheduled, you will be told what restaurant to meet your party at, and so you can go ahead and look at their menu, and if it's not a restaurant that you're familiar with, you can scan that menu and decide ahead of time what you would would like to eat. So some interviewers will assess your um, decision making skills by watching how you select from the menu. So if you select ahead of time, just kind of play it off and still scan the menu while everyone else is also scanning the menu, and see and make your meal selection at the same time that they do. Don't tip your hand and tell them that you already scanned the menu. Now, if you're already familiar with the restaurant, then you can, yes, I just scratched my back with the letter opener. I couldn't stand it anymore. But don't do that at the meal interview. But yes, so if you're already familiar with the restaurant, then you definitely can share that with your interviewer, but they don't have to know that you scanned the menu ahead of time. It's nothing bad about that. And you can tell them that you scanned maybe after the fact. Play it off, go along with everybody else's time frame for reviewing the menu, and maybe later use that as one of the topics of conversation that you touch on while you're eating. And just say, yes, I scanned once I was given the information about the restaurant. Since I was not familiar with it, I decided to look it up, and I even scanned their menu and kind of narrowed my choices down to about 3 items. That can really impress your potential new manager and the client, because it'll show that you engage in advanced preparation, and that you're a planner, and that you're likely very organized as well. And then when it comes to alcohol, which well, you may not know, but if you're a person who is in like the sales field, or and you often attend off-site meetings at restaurants and with clients, typically you're going to be offered alcohol. So my first recommendation would be to turn it down very politely. Just let them know, no, thank you, I'm not drinking, or I'm fine. If you have tea or water or something like that, you really don't have to explain why you're not drinking, but someone may ask, "Oh, so you're not drinking?" And then you can say, "No, I'm a very, very light drinker. Alcohol drinker. However, when I do drink, I do enjoy a good drink. However, not very often." Something like that. But I appreciate, just tell them I appreciate the offer. If you cannot find a way to comfortably decline the offer of alcohol, limit your drink to 1. Remember, you're still being professionally assessed by a potential new employer in the presence, likely, of a potential client or an existing client who could end up being assigned to your client list. You do not want to drink too much alcohol and end up behaving in a way that is unbecoming of the professional who you are. Then, make sure that you already found out from the executive assistant or whomever gives you the information about the interview and the restaurant, the date, the time, and other logistics. Find out who is hosting, so you know who that person is. You can personally, make sure you personally acknowledge them before the meal interview ends. And then also, when it comes to introductions and small talk, make sure that you are familiar. If you can, find out who the person is who's representing who the client is who might be meeting with you all. If you're not meeting with the client, then fine, that's one less layer to worry about or to be concerned about preparing for. But definitely find out who the other company representatives are who you'll be meeting with, so that you can look them up on LinkedIn. You can look them up on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, and see what their interests are, so that you can be prepared to make small talk and to bond with them over over any similarities, similar interests and hobbies that you may have. Then also, when it comes to tipping and treatment of staff, make sure that you are polite to the restaurant staff, and that will likely be seen by the potential new employer as a sign of a high level of emotional intelligence and respect for others, not looking down on others because they are in a position that is serving you. And know that if you treat the restaurant staff poorly, it can be a red flag to your potential new employer. Then also be aware of your body language, because it does play a big role. And so non-verbal cues such as maintaining an appropriate level of eye contact, taking very small bites of food so that your mouth isn't always too full for you to be able to speak, and sit up straight and handle your utensils properly, as I mentioned earlier, and be yourself, but be your best behaved self, your best behaved, best prepared self. So I hope you've gotten value from this content, and let me tell you too, well, I'll share that with you later. Some of the professions, that'll be my next video, some of the professions that utilize the meal interview very often. So I hope that you've gotten value from this piece, and if you did, smash the like button, let the algorithm know that others need to receive this great content. Share it with your network, and when you feel comfortable, subscribe. Continue to join me for other videos. Click the subscribe and notification bell, so that you can, and click on all so that you'll be notified when I drop new content, and continue to come by, because I love having you here, and I love being on this journey with you of helping you to live your very best career life. Career success to you. Bye-bye.